One Play Wednesday is a weekly framework that I try to produce whereby I take a look at successful or interesting concepts that were utilized across the NFL universe. In this case, in Week 10, we're going to take a look at the overload blitz that allows Tyrice Knight to force his first fumble against Jacoby Brissett that Demarcus Lawrence picks up off a bounce and takes back to the house for a 14-0 lead. The first run through here, no iterations, just so you can see Knight's path in looping around Demarcus Lawrence, and then we'll rewind it, run it back multiple times so I can annotate it and try to describe to you as many elements of this play as possible. This one is, of course, a lot of fun to look at and try to examine and understand how Seattle is able to get this done, number one. And number two, perhaps the reason why Mike McDonald and or Aiden Durde decided to bring this overload stunt on a 2nd and 11. Kobe Bryant and Nick Emanwari are both blitzing off the same edge, with Bryant going upfield and Emanwari fitting underneath. He'll be engaged by the running back in an attempt to stonewall the blitzer and give Jacoby Brissett a little bit more time to try to get the pass off. I suspect that the trigger here for this blitz is the fact that it's a jumbo personnel grouping. So jumbo 12, to be precise, with one tight end located at the top side of the screen right there, and the jumbo or 6th offensive lineman who's reported eligible as an off tight end in the slot. A part of this, in fact, a big element, is the willingness and effectiveness of Demarcus Lawrence long sticking into the A-gap from a 5 technique alignment, and that allows Tyrice Knight to fit between Lawrence and the blitzer through the B-gap, Nick Emanwari, and get a free path to the quarterback. It's a play-action concept by Arizona. A key element here is the stacked nature of these two guys right now in the middle of the play, and then Lawrence getting into the A-gap as the 6th offensive lineman pulls. Essentially, the blocking scheme here kind of opened up the pathway for Knight to jump through and knock the ball out of Brissett's hands on the throw. Lawrence, ironically, is the guy who was, quote, clearing the path for Tyrice Knight, and he's the guy who picks the football up and rumbles all the way in for a 14-0 lead. I'll give you the end zone angle like we talked about earlier, except this time I'll annotate it and try to break it down a little bit. The only problem with it is that you've got Kobe Bryant slightly off screen for you guys off the left-hand side of our screen, but the right-hand side of Seattle's defense. Him and Emanwari are going to blitz. We'll kind of try to illustrate their path for a moment. Emanwari being engaged by the running back. We'll peel this back for a moment, and we'll see why this stunt worked so beautifully. With the jumbo tight end working across the line of scrimmage, the heels of the offensive lineman, the left tackle and the guard are working to kind of account for that space that he's vacated since an overload blitz is threatened pre-snap. And then what that does is, since Demarcus Lawrence stunts into the A-gap and the running back is occupied by Emanwari, it opens up this lane kind of tight from the angle that we've got here, but Tyrice Knight bursts through there, explodes onto the quarterback just at the last second before the ball is going to be released, pops it up in the air. Amazing moment, if you ask me. Apparently, this is one where Mike McDonald said that Tyrice Knight, hadn't run that stunt, unless I have my play explanations confused. In any case, 2 forced fumbles on the day. This first one really put Seattle out to a significant advantage that at this point, even though it's only 5.5 minutes in, with the way Seattle's playing football recently, the game, for all intents and purposes, was over. Of course, I just as easily could have put Tyrice Knight on the cover here, but if you're unaware, I did a full-length film study of the opening game blitz from Seattle on the offensive and the defensive side, and Tyrice Knight was the thumbnail picture for that one. In any case, if you guys enjoyed this iteration of One Play Wednesday, please let me know in the comment section, number one. Number two, if you think there's other plays that I could cover in this format from Week 10 or previous in the season, then please let me know in the comment section. Appreciate you guys' time.